Well, ladies and gents, special guest, as always, today off the back of a Stellar Diamond League, but we have a European record holder in her own right over the 10 kilometres on the road. It's Klara Lukan, ladies and gentlemen. Klara, firstly, how are you doing and where are you in the world at the moment?
Hi, it's such a pleasure to be here to speak to you because, I've been listening to your podcast for quite some years. And it's a great pleasure that that today I'll be joining as a guest. I'm feeling great. I just started back running because a few days back I had some health problems. I got a flu, now I'm slowly returning back to running, and every day it's getting better and better.
Brilliant to hear. Well, look, the pleasure is all ours. We were just talking a little bit off air how people are starting to see more and more of you. So let's remind them who you are and what you've accomplished before that European record we saw earlier on in the year, because you did have a very strong junior career as well. And I always think back to pre the pandemic when it was you and Nadia Batacleti going toe for toe for a European title. And so that memory, does that stick with you, 2019 at those European Championships, and how did that impact your career?
Of course, that was my first international medal. I remember that when I had the interview, when they asked me what are going to be my plans for the next years. And back then, I didn't expect then to be in 2 years at my first Olympics. It's been a great path ever since. Of course, there are challenges. There are always challenges in sports, but I think that I progressed really well in the upcoming years, and I'm still here, still really motivated, excited about the new challenges, about the new opportunities, But the most important thing for me is to stay healthy, to have all of the support, which I really appreciate, to have my coach, my team, my family. It's been a great journey, and I have been enjoying it since day one, since 2010, when I first stepped into the running shoes. And I'm still here, so it's super nice.
Let's talk about that moment. 2010 is a long time ago. What was it like when you first started your running journey, and what was life like actually growing up in Slovenia? Because what's the national sport there?
The thing was that before athletics, I trained tennis. I played tennis, but it was mostly like a children's game. So from 3rd to 5th grade, I played tennis. And then me and my parents, we sat down and we opted between gymnastics and athletics. I don't know. It was more convenient also for my parents for the transport and everything, because we had athletics club in my local city, so it was closer. We decided for athletics, and ever since I've been pushing myself. And it was really strange at the beginning, because my parents they were asking themselves, and they were asking me what are we doing at the trainings, because I was super tired after returning back from the training, because I don't know, I just pushed myself to the limits, because I thought that I must be with the big guys, and I tried to follow them. And every time when I returned back from training, I was super exhausted, that I just laid down on the couch, and my parents were just like, oh my God, your coach is probably, I don't know what he's doing with you. Is it too much? It was never the coach was never the problem. The problem was me, because I was torturing myself since 2010. I was 10 years back then. That's part of me. That's part of who I am, and I believe that it's it's a feature of mine that also brought me here today.
And were your peers like that? You talk about yourself working really hard. Was that the culture in the group, or was it just you who was willing to go to that place?
I would say that this is mostly coming from me, from my inner, I don't know, I just feel like I need to push myself, because I remember that some of my friends, they were like, completely easy with the trainings. They didn't care really. They just wanted to go there to have some fun, to make connections, to have a good time. But yeah, I was from the beginning. I was really focused, and I don't know. I just like I felt in my heart that I need to do this. So it's hard to
Yeah,
explain. It's just an inner feeling.
I can imagine. I mean, I was going to say, have you stopped to reflect why you approached the sport in that way and why you executed the training in that way? But it sounds like you're just alluding to the fact it was just deep down within you. When someone told you to run, you made sure you ran hard.
Yeah, actually, yeah. I just like many times I try to stop and reflect on this. Why is this so? But I just don't find the answer. I think it's part of me, part of who I am, and I'm not fully happy and satisfied if I don't do this in that way. So it's my way of functioning and the way I'm like the best version of myself.
Does that cross over outside of running as well into day-to-day life?
Yes, of course. Yeah. Sometimes just, I would say too much. For example, because I remember then that my parents, like many years ago, they told me, "You're crazy. You're studying too much." Because I remember then when I was in high school, and you imagine that high school is not even that hard. And I studied, for example, on the weekends for a couple of hours. I don't know, 7 hours in one piece. So it was sometimes maybe a bit too much because I wanted to know everything. I wanted to have everything under control, everything planned. And that's, yeah, just the way who I am. I have my own schedules and I followed my plans. And yeah, I believe that if you're really consistent, structured, organized, you can achieve a lot. Yeah. And I would say that this transcends really into my other parts of life, not only sports.
I was going to say, living in quite a regimented fashion then, has that had its challenges in the sport, in running?
Yeah, of course. I like since always I have been living on my own terms. And yeah, for example, every time when people ask me, how do I manage to, for example, to incorporate both the sports into my studying, how do I handle all of this? But yeah, I would say that it's not hard if you have the plan, if you have the goal. But yeah, I just don't follow anyone. I live on my own terms, and also regarding the sports, if I'm honest, I don't really watch sports because that's actually, I would say that's the segment that I'm not really interested in. And I do my own business, and I don't really observe also what others are doing. For example, other athletes. For example, when people ask me what is my, I don't know, VO2 max, I don't even know what VO2 max is. I don't know what lactate is. So I just don't like follow this technical sports stuff. I just trust in my coach, in his knowledge, and I just follow. I follow and execute, and I think that that's the way it functions the most for me. I don't say that this is for everyone, but for me, it's the best to just not think about it and I just follow. Because I have my other interests, and yeah, I'm really into natural sciences and business, and sports for me is just a way to push myself to prove that I can achieve more than an average runner. But yeah, I don't really mind about the environment, what others are doing. So I just trust 100% in the coaching system of my coach.
But you have chosen sport. Have you chosen sports actually? When you look at your science degree and your studies, and now from the outside, it looks like you've chosen sports and you're a fully fledged professional. Is that the case?
You know, like there's a case. For example, many times I hear that, for example, younger kids, they say, okay, when I grow, I will be Olympian. I will achieve Olympic medal, and they have all of these big goals. But for me, this was never the case. I never thought about this from this perspective. I was only following my inner instinct, for example, that I need to push myself, and then my results, like gradually, organically, they improved. And I don't know, it was just a natural step for me to go into the professional path in the sports, but I never planned to be a professional runner. Never. For example, when I was, 10 years old girl, I didn't think about Olympics or to be one day a fully professional athlete. I just followed. I pushed myself every training. I pushed myself on the competitions. I'm really competitive in nature, and yeah, that's just like I think it was organic path for me.
So, yeah, I was going to say. So you see professional running as just a means in order for you to continue to push yourself and continue to just test the limits when it comes to running.
Yes. I just want to prove.
So right now, do you have a goal right now, or are you still like, okay, well, I've achieved X, Y, and Z, and now I'm just going to keep on going and see what else I can achieve. You haven't got like this, like, for example, Josh Kerr, he's just broken the world record. That was a goal he announced to the world pre-Christmas. So do you operate in that way?
I would say that for each season, me and my coach, we have the conversation about the goals we want to achieve. So we set ourselves short-term goals, but I would say that on the longer term, I just feel in myself that my career is going to fully, expand in the marathon, because I believe that my body is suited for marathon. I haven't tested myself yet, but I think that this all will follow.
And I've just got to ask as well, what are you doing? Are you, I think I tried to ask earlier, are you a full-time professional, or are you still studying on the side? Are you still working part-time? I know you're very, very passionate about science and biotech and everything like that.
I would say it's a mix of everything. So I finished my bachelor's degree in biotechnology in 2023. Then I started my master's degree in international business. I graduated last May. And then this year I got employed into a software company, impact.com. And now I work as a project manager in this in this company, and this is a fully remote role. So it goes really nice with my professional career in running as well. And another thing, I decided for another challenge, and this is in October. I'm starting with my PhD. I applied for a doctoral program. So yeah, I haven't finished yet with my studying.
Wow. So currently you are working full-time. You were working full-time. I know it was remote when you broke the European record over 10 kilometers.
Actually, I work half-time. I would say it's like
part-time.
My arrangement is like 20 hours per week. It depends. Sometimes more, sometimes less. But my boss is really nice. He can fully understand my sports. So it's super nice. I can do that really nice.
Yeah. What's the motivation to work part-time then? Because a lot of people in your position, I mean, anyone who's broken the European record at any distance, any discipline, is 9 times out of 10, in fact more than that, is definitely full-time, committed to the sport. It's taken them years to get to that level. So what is your motivation to still work and make sure you are working, albeit part-time?
The thing is that I just cannot do only sports. That's the way. I cannot function like that because it's too much. I would say too much pressure on the mind, because then then you're 24/7, you're constantly thinking about running, about how hard it is, what hurts you, how are you going to do this and this and this workout, and are you going to handle this race or no? So I would say that to have some other things on the sides, I think it's really beneficial. Especially for me, yeah, because I've been studying my whole life on the side, and it's really something that has become a great part of me. And also, I know that one day my sports career is going to end. So I know that I need a plan B. That's my plan B. Then to go into a professional career, not in running, but for example, in business. And yeah, many times I hear that a lot of athletes, they become depressed because then they don't know what to do with their lives when they finish their professional sports career. And I believe that after my end, I will not have this crisis because I will start a professional career on the other segment of my life. Yeah, I don't know. I don't work, for example, for now, I don't work because of the money. Of course, no. I just, I don't know. I want to be productive. And to not constantly think about running because it's just too much. And then especially, if I don't know, injury happens, then it's really hard, then you have then you have the feeling that all of your identity is built around running, and I just really don't want that to be in my case.
So I want to ask, back in your junior career, you were obviously trusting the process, trusting what your coach sets you. But did you look up to anyone? Growing up in Slovenia, were there sort of role models who inspired you, or did you not even think about that?
Not really. Not
really.
I don't have any role models because I think that my path is so unique that I don't know. I have not seen anyone who does in the same way as I do. So I don't really. I don't know. There are many great...
Not to that level. Yeah, not to your level. I don't think anyone successfully is doing what you're doing and has accomplished what you've accomplished. So let's talk about that transition from that junior career to winning that European Juniors. I don't know who your coach is. Forgive me if that's a bit ignorant of me. I couldn't really find it online. So what does your setup look like as well? Who's your coach? How long have you been coached by them? What does the setup look like?
Okay, it's a long story, but I'll tell you. We have
Please.
time. In my athletics career, I only had 2 coaches, which I'm really grateful for, because many times I hear that there are people who constantly change coaches, and then they are changing from one system to another. So I believe that it's the best to not change coach if it's not really crucial for your development. So yeah, when I started in 2010 in 5th grade, I had 1 coach from my local athletics club. And then in 2017, I changed not because of him. He was a really great coach. We had a great relationship and everything. And also my progression with results was great. No injuries. But I needed to change because I changed schools. First, I was in the first 2 years of high school. I was in my at the sports gymnasium. But then I changed to international bachelorette program, which is in another city. So I applied for this program in high school, and I needed to move. And then also there was a logical consequence was to change the training group and the coach. And I got to this coach. So since 2017, we are still together. And it was so nice. We met at the training camp, and I still remember it was the 3rd August of 2017. And our first training, he was testing me if I'm the real athlete in the by the nature. So he tested me. We needed to run 2-minute intervals up the hill, and it was at noon, and it was really hot. So I still remember it's so hard training, but yeah, that was his test. And apparently I passed the test because I'm still here. He accepted me in the group. And back then we were only 3 to 4 people in the group. So it was a really small group. I started with really successful also Olympic runner Marusha Mishmash Zrimšek, sprint racer. She achieved some great results in her career. So yeah, we started training together in 2017. And my coach, I didn't mention his name, Teusz Gorant. So he was also a former athlete, a hurler. Actually, a really funny thing is that now he's a great professional in coaching long distance. But actually, at his beginning stages, he was a hurler, a sprinter. So at the first stages, he had no idea about long running, but in the upcoming years, he really developed some great knowledge and also used knowledge in a smart way. So yeah, and since 2017, I have been working with him. I've been following his plans, and in the meantime, also our group has expanded to a great extent. Currently, we are like 20 to 25 athletes. And we have a great variety of athletes, from sprinters, hurdlers, to middle distance runners, and also to long distance. So we have a really dynamic group. And yeah, as regarding my progression, the thing is that at first, when I came into the group, I was actually a middle distance runner. I ran on the 800 meters and 600 and 1000 and those junior categories. And then I did my first 1500 race in my life when I think I was like 17 or 18, something like that. So I would say that quite late.
Old.
Yeah, I was quite old because I have been training since 2010, and then 7 to 8 years later, I did my first more towards longer distances race, and then my first 3000 meters race was in 2018, I think. Yes, at the end of the season, yeah. And it was so funny because my coach, he just told me, okay, run this and this tempo per lap, and I didn't even know how to run. I just went, and I think that I ran my first race 9:32 or something like that, which is not even that bad. I think that it was almost like a national record back then. And then, if now go to the 2019, my first international medal season. So this international medal, that was actually my second race on 5,000 meters in my life. So actually, I was not experienced at all. My first race I did, I think 2 months prior to that race. And it was actually just after the final exam at the international, high school diploma program. I remember that I went to the 5,000 meters on the European team championships, club championships. And the reason was that we decided for the longer distance because first club had nobody to compete on the longer distance, and also I was just after the final exams and I was quite tired from everything, and we just thought that maybe it's the best for me to not push myself on the shorter distance to prevent some injuries, for example, my coach and I believe that it's better for the body to do a bit more longer and slower. So and that was my first 5,000 meter race, and it was the same tactics. He told me, okay, go this pace by lap, and I just went. I went, and then I achieved an entry standard national record, I believe it was also, and then I went to the European Championships for my second 5,000 meter race in life. But I believe that that's actually good because when an athlete is unexperienced, then you don't think about how hard it's going to be or what can happen in the negative way. I mean, so you just go. You go with the flow and you don't think about it too much. So I remember then that when we stood on the start line in Boras in 2019, I was fully motivated to just go all out, and I went. And then, I don't know, on my surprise, there was nobody who could keep up the pace with me. So yeah, it was just like, I don't know, a lone race from start to finish. Nothing special, actually.
Well, nothing special. Did you beat Nadi Bicicletti that day? I think you did.
Yeah, that was, I think that was the only race in my career. So I'm quite proud because, yeah, now Nadia is a superstar athlete. And yeah.
Well, how did that performance when you won the European Juniors back in 2019? It was only your second 5,000, as you said. How did that performance then impact the rest of your career?
Yeah, I would say that it was a great stepping stone. Also, it opened many doors for me because, I think that from that race, I also got my first manager and then my first contract with Adidas. I became more visible also in the international field. I believe that it was great opportunity also to expand my visibility and to get some more opportunities to compete, to be seen by others. Because many athletes don't have then the opportunity, even if they have great results, maybe they don't reach the level they want to. So.
Did you ever get approached by American universities? Did you ever consider that, being a European Junior champion?
I got quite some invitations. I think on Facebook and also on Instagram, they wrote me. At the beginning, when I applied for this international bachelorette diploma program, my plan was to continue studies in the US because this is an international program and you have all of the subjects in English and you don't need to do any additional language courses. But then when I started with this coach and training group, I felt really great, and I decided that here in Slovenia is perfect for me. And also my studies went really well, and so then at the end, nobody convinced me to change my mind and to go. And I'm super happy that I didn't go.
Yeah. Decision paid off. Just quickly then, you spoke about that European Juniors being only a second 5,000. Your first 1,500 was at 17, your first 5,000 was at 18. So you delayed that step up. Do you think that's why you were able to be so successful at that event? Like, what was your training like? You hadn't raced a 5,000, but were you training like a 5,000 meter runner, or were you purely training like an 800, 1,500 meter runner and just chanced it over 5,000?
I don't really remember how I trained because I don't have any notes or everything. I just follow the coach's plan, but I think that I trained more like 800, 1,500. Right. Because I didn't do many kilometers. Back then, I didn't even know what kilometers were. I had my Garmin watch only to stopwatch my times on the track, but I didn't watch my kilometers. I believe that back then I had a lot of room for improvement, and we were just adding season by season. And also now I believe that I still have a lot to show, especially on the long distance stage. I think my coach has a really smart strategic way with me. For example, when I see young children when they are running, 5,000, 10,000 meters when they are 12, I'm just like, no, I don't know. For me, I would say if I were a coach, I would never, for example, I would never prepare a 10-year-old for 5,000 meters. Because, I believe that you need to first develop your body to prepare. And also, for example, for a marathon, I don't believe that running a marathon when you're, 16 is a healthy approach to long distance running.
We can agree on that. Look, it wasn't that long ago you were running 31 minutes for 10K and now you're 29:50. let's talk about that improvement. Where did that come from? Was it as simple as just doing a little bit more training year on year? Was there a switch in your lifestyle in training at all? Did you experience altitude? What do you put that down to, that massive improvement at that level?
I wouldn't say that there's any magic trick. It's just a consistency. I would say that we build those quality kilometers each season, year by year. I stayed healthy. Like my only more serious injury was in 2022 when I had a stress fracture of fibula. But otherwise, I've been training consistently. And yeah, we started adding altitude also. I believe that had a great impact on my performance. But otherwise, I don't know, I didn't do any massive changes to my lifestyle. I still studied, I still did all of the steps I did before, even when I ran, 32.5 minutes, like the same. Just like, yeah, we increased with the training, of course, with the kilometers, with the intensity, but nothing really, a major change. And yeah, I also did some improvements on my nutrition with, for example, with the carbohydrates and gels and things like that. But otherwise, nothing really crazy. And yeah, of course, I believe that also running gear, running shoes really impact also the performance. But otherwise, I don't know. I don't have any special recipe for that result. I just believe in the system.
Well, that's fair enough. I mean, when you broke that European record, it was off the back of, I think the European record earlier this year was broken 3 times, right? Megan Keith, Anna Van Len, Eilish comes close, and then you go and you are the first one to break 30 minutes for 10 kilometers as a European. Did you think it was going to be you? Were you planning it to be you? And how were you responding to seeing these other women get very close to that 30-minute mark?
Yeah, I remember the first time when the European record was broken this year by Jana Van Lent. I remember that I sent to my coach the message that this season hasn't really started yet. And I was smiling at the result. Like, it was a great result. It was a surprising one. But I believe that with my trainings and my capabilities, I could break the 30-minute barrier. But yeah, of course, to do such a huge achievement, everything needs to be aligned. Everything needs to connect. You need to be in a perfect shape, in perfect mindset, with perfect conditions, perfect race and everything. Yeah, when I watched the Valencia 10K run, when Eilish broke the record, there was still then another motivating factor for me. And then Megan Keith, like, just amazing progression. Like, I almost cannot believe how the results progressed, because, for example, a couple of years ago, I remember that, for example, all of the girls who run, 13.5 or 30, 40, they were like the superstars, the queens of the discipline. But now, like, to be among top 5 European runners, you need to run sub 30:10, which is crazy. But yeah, my plan actually was to do my great result in Castellón in Spain in February. But then it got quite complicated because my body hasn't really responded, it didn't really recover well after the altitude. I was super tired, super not feeling in shape. And when I did my first race after returning from Kenya in Monaco, 5K, it was really bad. Like, the result was average, like I did 15:04, but I felt terrible from the start. From the start, I just couldn't keep up the pace with the girls. I was torturing myself, suffering from start to finish. Just my body was not was not flying. And yeah, after that race, I also got a bit ill. And then I remember 1 week after that race, it was Castellón on the schedule, and I just canceled my application because I was not feeling like myself. But yeah, then we decided that for me it's the best to try to recover, to stick to the plan, to continue with the trainings. And then I would say, like, after 5 weeks of returning from altitude, I started to feeling again like myself.
Wow.
Yeah, so it took a really long time. I don't know, maybe it was because the altitude was so high, or maybe the trainings were too intense. I don't know. But it took a great toll on my body.
Was that your first time to Kenya?
Yes. And also it was the first time that the quantity and the quality was so high of the training. So I believe that it a mix of everything. It was probably a bit too much. I don't know, too much for me, and my body needed 5 weeks. And then I did my second half marathon in life in March in Spain again. And on that race, I felt good, yeah. So, and from then on, my performance went up. And it was really interesting thing again that after the first Kenyan camp, my coach told me, okay, you can reserve the flying tickets for another time. So you go back at the end of March, in April. And then when April was approaching, I was actually scared to speak with him about how I don't want to go, because I wasn't feeling like going back.
Yeah,
because
obviously.
my body has like barely recovered, and then going back, I just thought that it was going to destroy me. But then we talked, and I told him that I don't want to go, and he fully agreed. He fully supported me with that decision, and he was actually of the same opinion. That it's better for me to not go. So yeah, then my tickets, they were not used. Yeah. But
Yeah.
I'm happy that I decided in that way, because otherwise I wouldn't be I wouldn't become a European record holder, because that race was actually in that time when I needed to be in Kenya back. And yeah, I just, believe that everything aligned in my direction.
Yeah. So what were you preparing for if you were going to go back to Kenya and that European record would never have been? And so that wasn't on the schedule, clearly. So were you going to prepare for another half marathon, or what were you going to be training for in Kenya?
For the second camp, I don't really know what was the plan, but yeah, I was okay. Maybe this 10K is not meant for me in that period of the year. Maybe it's meant, I don't know, in the autumn. But yeah, then.
Okay. Interesting. And I've got to ask as well, because I think there's a lot of people listening who have been to altitude, especially Kenya. It's very high. The trails are hard. They're very demanding. There's very little flat. It's tough to recover. And so in that 5 weeks, when you came back and you took you 5 weeks to sort of recover from that, what did training look like? Did you just continue? Or did you have to back off quite a bit? Was it like a really heavy recovery period where you drop your volume, drop the intensity to let your body come around? Or did you just carry on as usual and just sort of your body then started to come back around and feel a bit perkier?
I would say that I tried to stick to the plan, but it was really hard for me. For example, I remember that when I started running, I was feeling like really dizzy, and all the time I wanted to sleep. I didn't want to speak to anyone. Like, it was almost like getting into a kind of a depressive state. Also state of mind. It was really, I was not in a bad, I was not in a good skin, I would say. And yeah, I remember that one run when my coach, he told me, okay, you can gradually increase the pace, and then you can like run, like that you feel good, like fast running, like gradual, yeah, increasing. But the thing was that I thought that I was sprinting, and then I watched my saw my watch, and it was showing like 4:10 per kilometer. And I was like, damn, how I am so slow.
Yeah.
But yeah, the feeling was like I was sprinting. I was really not feeling well. But I don't know. I just trusted the plan I follow, but it was hard. Yeah, it was really hard for me.
It's really interesting because I think a lot of times we watch on as fans of the sport, pundits, commentators, and it's very easy to judge an athlete and go, oh, they're out of shape. But yeah, we rarely know what goes on behind the scenes. And you talking of, that Kenya camp, when you were in Kenya, were you feeling like this has been a good camp?
Yeah. I would say that
you came home confident.
I came confident that I trained really well because I was really pushing myself, and I was also achieving the paces my coach gave me. But on the other hand, the moment I got back home, I felt really tired, and I just didn't want to run. It was, I don't know, strange feeling, dizziness, sleepiness.
It's very hard to predict sometimes how you're going to respond to certain things, isn't it? And that is, I guess, the skill of coaching and the skill of getting it right in this sport. But look, something I wanted to talk to you about is the roads versus the track. Were you 20th in Paris, 15th in Tokyo, it's over the 10,000. How do you reflect on those performances? Now you've run what you've run on the roads. Do you look at them and think, I could have done better on those occasions?
I don't. I would say that for the Paris, I was not really disappointed because actually my goal was to do both of the disciplines. So both 5,000 and 10,000, which is actually quite tough combination. For example, if I needed to decide one more time, I would probably not do it again, both distances, because it's really hard to do so many kilometers on the track in such a short time frame. But yeah, actually with the Paris, I was quite satisfied, because my goal was not to achieve a medal, but to do both disciplines. And it really depends what you put for yourself as a goal. But as I said, I believe that my shining moment will come in marathon. Because now when I look on for example, 5,000 meters or 3,000 or 1,500, those are really short distances. And I think that I'm an endurance runner, more endurance. And also I enjoy, I figured out that I enjoy road racing much more than track. Especially on the longer distances. For example, 5,000 is okay for me on the track, but 10,000 is too much. It's too repetitive. And of course, when you step on the Olympic stage, it's an amazing feeling because there are many spectators and full stadium of people, and it's nice. But otherwise, if I needed to do 10,000 alone, like with no people watching, it would be just like, I don't know, torturing, because 25 laps is just... I don't know, too much. And for example, if I compare it to the road running, it's much more dynamic. The road races are never the same, and especially when you run with in the mixed race with the men's, it's also nice because you have many male runners around and many people cheering, and the streets are different. For me, it's much more fun.
Well, mixed race is that's an interesting debate. Talking about that, I mean, firstly, I'll ask you the question: would you like to see male pacers accepted in women's only record attempts?
I wouldn't have any problems with that, because at the end, you still need to do all of the work. The pacer is just a help, but still, you need to be in shape. You need to be prepared mentally, physically, and at the end, you need to execute. So I don't see a problem with that.
And do you prefer racing in mixed races? Sounds like you do.
Yeah. like for example, it's really nice for example, I did 2 10K races recently in female only race. It's really nice because it's more competitive, because when I run, for example, on the side with the female runner, it's more fire in me, like to
Interesting.
to be in front. But usually when it's a mixed race, it's more people, so it's nice from that angle.
Time and a place for both, hey? If you can, I'd love you to share how you train. You mentioned that you don't delve into the science too much. You don't rely on lactates or anything like that. So how do you train? What's a typical week? And how have you become the European record holder?
I cannot really say what's a typical week, because my coach is constantly changing the plans. We don't. Probably he has his structure, but I just don't. I don't really care about the structure. I just like it's interesting because I don't know my trainings in advance. For example, I don't have a plan of 1 month plan what to do for the trainings. We communicate on a daily basis. So, for example, when when we have those trainings together in a group, we start at the stadium. But when I'm walking to the stadium, I don't know what's going to be on the plan. So I need to be fully prepared, also mentally, to have, sometimes coach just comes and he says, okay, today we are going to have a sprint training. So I hate that type of training, but then I need to put on my spikes and I need to do, 7 times 120 meters, which is terrible for me because, yeah. But yeah, it's,
Wow.
I would say that that's the most, fun part in this way of living, because every day for me is a challenge. I never know what is on the menu, and sometimes with my teammates we try to guess. When we do a warm up, we try to guess what is going to be on the plan, and it happens many times that we are not even close. For example, we predict that we are going to have, 10 times 1,000 meters, and then we have something completely different. And yeah, it's so nice, and I really appreciate the fact that my coach, he has, he's a really creative, and he can structure the training in 100 different ways with the same effect. So it really happens that I can do a training. For example, few days ago, I did a training that I have never done in my life. And I have been with my coach since 2017. So it's really a combination, 100 ways of training. We play with, tempos, with the distances. Sometimes we don't run on the meters, but by minutes, also on the stadium. And we run, on the 7th lane in the opposite direction. Sometimes we do 200s by 200, slow, fast, slow. It's just a full variety of trainings. The only thing I know is that on the Sunday is reserved for a long run. That's only one training on Sundays. But otherwise, I have 2 times per week. I have gym. Strength training, it's actually not every strength session is a strength one. Sometimes we only do, stabilization exercises, prevention exercises, more, stretching. And yeah, also with the gym, it's never the same. He has, again, 100 different exercises. And
so
sometimes
he takes care of your gym work as well.
Actually, his mother, she's also really involved in sports. She was an athlete as well, and also a coach in the some years ago, and now she coaches us.
Wow.
So it's really nice. They are really connected, and we are all connected together. We have our own gym because in the Corona times, he built his own gym besides his house. So yeah, we have everything we need, and that's 2
Wow.
times per week. We have those trainings, and we have track sessions 3 times per week. Usually it's on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, and all of the other runs we have in nature. This year, I also didn't do any hill sessions, because in the previous years we also had some 1 or 2 times per week hills, but this year not so much. And yeah, otherwise all the other trainings are runs. And every season coach changes. Because, for example, if I think about a few years back, I train completely differently now than a few years back.
That's rare.
And yeah,
that's very rare that training would change that much from year to year for an athlete who's been consistently so successful.
Yeah, my coach, he's constantly educating himself. He goes, he has also his mentor, and he goes on that educational meetings about running, about performance, about, I don't know, different approaches to training. He bought a lot of books in the strategies, in the development. So yeah, I think his philosophy is that you need to give body constantly a different signals that you don't get into the like in a comfort zone, because in the comfort zone I believe there is no progress. So yeah, we constantly change, but yeah, it's really not complicated. Yeah.
And I can imagine you touched upon it a bit there, that actually for you as an athlete who's been at it for 10, 15 years now, that is very exciting, to sort of to be guessing, to be going to bed that night, not knowing what you're going to do. And then year on year as well, things changing. In a way, that's fun in a sport that can become very, very repetitive.
Yeah, of course. I believe that's also, one of the really important motivating factors that every day I see as a challenge.
You avoid burnout, right?
Yeah, of course, because otherwise it could become more too repetitive. But I believe that I would still do it. Because, for example, when I was injured in 2022, I would say I could become an Olympic champion in aqua jogging, because I was so much in the pool. Yeah, like I was like 3 to 4 times per week, and sometimes I did my long runs, for example, 90-minute long run up and down slowly with the belt, and a rescuer from the water. He was just like he was watching me, and he asked me how I could do this, like over and over again. It's so boring.
What did you say to him?
I don't know. I was just like, that's the plan of my coach, and I need to do this. I have no other option. So, for example, if my coach, if he told me, okay, you need to do 100 times 100 meters, I would do it. I don't know. I don't.
You're just incredibly driven to complete the task you are set. Do you have brothers and sisters? Have you spoken to mom and dad about that sort of mindset? Does that come from them?
Actually, yeah, I have 2 sisters, but they are completely different. And also, all the other family members are completely different. I don't know where this
You've
mentality
taken all their
comes.
discipline.
Probably, I don't know. Because also, when I was like, my mother, she told me that when I was in first grade of primary school, the moment I stepped in the house, I was just like, I was just searching for my notebooks, how to do the homework. The first moment I was in first grade. For example, like a normal kids, they would want to go out and play, and I don't know, want to watch television. And I was just like so focused to complete to first complete what I need to do and then the play. So that's who I am.
Yeah. Look, what are you preparing for right now then? Are you preparing for the European Track Championships or the World Road Running Champs? What's on your mind? What are you gearing up for?
Yeah, actually, I have for this year, I have 3 major goals now. The first one is European Championships. I will compete 10,000 meters. And then after that, I have a half marathon at the Mediterranean Games, which is going to be at the end of August, the beginning of September. And this is also the preparation for the World Championships in Copenhagen, which I will also do the half marathon. So those are the 3 big goals for this year.
Brilliant. And when you look at the track at the moment, obviously you've run exceptionally fast on the road. Do you feel confident that you can convert that ability to the track?
I feel confident, but I see that girls are crazy. So I know it's going to be super tough. If I want to achieve something great on the track, I will for sure need to go all out, and I would need to be also in my best, mental and physical state to achieve something great, because girls are crazy. Competition is super at a super level. But it's really exciting, and I'm really looking forward to that race.
Well, brilliant. We look forward to welcoming you to Birmingham as well. Not long now, just a month or so to go, just under until the European Championships. Klara, it's been an absolute pleasure to get to know you, and I hope people enjoy this episode and they'll cheer you on come those European Championships. But thank you very much. All the best.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for the invitation. It was a huge honor.